What we're going to talk about today is the quick and easy way to get more clients, double your income, and increase your productivity in your business. Because the new year is coming, clients are going to want to train with you. They're going to look for a lot of alternatives out there, things like infomercials, diet pills, diet books, right? They're going to go to the big box gym and they're going to see other personal trainers and boot camps and group training programs out there. And what is the thing that's going to attract them to your business? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do to get there. So let's talk about the way to get more clients into your fitness business. All right, here we go. The leads, right? The lead generation is the most important thing you can do when you're trying to breathe new life into your business. It is not your brand. It is not the equipment that you have. It is not the location, the street corner that you're on, or the light industrial building that you're in. It doesn't matter if it's commercial or industrial. The number one thing that matters is lead generation. See, our world, the fitness world, we are not in the place of a impulse purchase. We're not a Starbucks. Hey, stop in real quick and get a Starbucks drink, or let me maybe swing in and get a 6-inch sub from Subway. Typically, if you're hiring a personal trainer or a fitness business in one capacity or another, you're gonna find an ad, see an offer, and then call them and go find them, right? So it's not a matter of location or again, the type of equipment you do or the type of training you offer. It is the lead generation. So thing number one you've got to focus on is lead generation. And in 2017, the best places to get leads from are still going to be Facebook, right? Facebook, email marketing, building a local email list of clients and prospects, people who are interested in working with you but have yet to give you money, and of course, referrals. Referrals are massive. Anyone that comes to you from your existing clients is easier to sell. They're pre-qualified, pre-screened, and pre-sorted, as my friend Joe Polish likes to say. And so why not get more referrals into your business? Now, the other thing, of course, is the sale, right? You can get all the leads you want from Facebook and email marketing and referrals, but unless you convert these leads into paying clients, well, your business is not going to grow. And so you've got to be good at selling. So what is the number one thing you need to figure out about selling? Is that people buy from people they trust. That's it. And if there was another thing, it would be people buy from people they like, right? So if you have likability and trustability, if they like you and they trust you, they're going to buy from you as long as you make an offer that's compelling and irresistible. In other words, if you have a hungry group of people and you have a restaurant open that offers food at a reasonable price and at a good quality service, right? You're going to get the customers. And so that's what we're looking for here. But you have to make the sale. And the way the sale happens is you've got to be likable and they've got to trust you in order to give you money. And of course, the other two components of that is that you have to speak to what they want, not what they need. So if you're out there and you're going to give a client an overhead squat test to see if they are going to need some kind of posterior chain work, no one's going to buy that. Nobody buys that. You will give them that because they need that, right? But what they really want to buy is weight loss. They want to get into a smaller dress. They want, maybe a size 3, 4, 5 jeans, right? Or if they're male, they probably want to be in the low 30s in the waistline, right? And so you've got to look for the things that they want. And then once you close them and sell them on the things that they want, you give them what they need in addition to that, right? So let's just remember that. What else? The outcome. So you got the leads. Great. You're a great lead generator. You're able to convert the leads into paying clients. And then what? We've got to deliver the outcome. The number one thing you can do with an existing client is to deliver the outcome, because if you don't deliver the outcome, they will go find a solution elsewhere. And it is infinitely more expensive to find a new client than it is to retain an existing client. Let me say that again. It is infinitely more expensive to go find a new client than to retain an existing client. And the only way you're going to retain your clients is by delivering the outcome or the results that you've promised. Now, there's a little caveat to that. What is the caveat? The community, right? People want results and outcome. They also want community. They want culture. They want to be in an environment that they like, that's fun, where they have friends in, it's clean. So if you've got a great community that you've built in your business, you're going to do that much better. Make sense to you? And finally, when you have results being delivered and when you have a great culture and community in your gym or personal training studio or boot camp, guess what happens? The referrals almost come to you as a byproduct of that. So just understand that the funnel in getting more clients is really simple. It's these 5 things. You get the leads, you convert them into paying clients, you deliver the results, you give them a community, right? A culture that they want to be a part of, and then you ask for referrals, or just as a byproduct, they will give you referrals. All right, so let's move on. So what do we do to make more income? So we've got the clients. How do we make more income from the clients that we have, or how are we able to do more with the clients that we're going to get? Let's talk about that. It typically starts with auditing your business. And what I mean by that is, when I ask some of my coaching clients who are brand new into my 7-figure formula mastermind group or into my private coaching program, I'll ask them, what exactly do you charge your average client? The typical answer I hear is, oh, it varies, somewhere between X amount of dollars and X amount of dollars per month. But do you know what the average dollar amount is that you charge? See, if you know that average, now you're in a position of knowing how much you can spend to acquire a new client, right? For example, if you charge, let's say, $197 a month for group training or boot camp, then you know that you might be willing to spend an entire $197 to get a new client in, especially if you sign a client up on board for a 12-month program, because I'm willing to forego the first months of payment, right? I'm willing to forego $197 to get a new client on board, knowing that I'm going to keep 11 months of payments, right? But if you don't know how much you spend, then you don't know how much you can, or if you don't know how much you get, then you don't know exactly how much you're going to need to spend to get a client. And so with that said, what do you do after you audit your business? Well, you probably are going to realize that you need to raise your prices. Now, do you raise your prices on your existing clients? I say no. I say you reward your existing clients by locking them in. But be willing to raise your prices on new clients. And this right here gives you an opportunity to create a new marketing strategy. Are you ready for this? You don't just go, all right, tomorrow morning I'm raising my prices. You might as well announce it to people on Facebook, to people who are interested and on the fence, to people on your email list, right? So you're gonna say, hey, as of next week, our prices are going up. So if you're sitting on the fence, or if you're an existing client and you have a friend that you want to refer over to us, now is the time to refer them over to us so they can get on board with the current low rates, right? And you make a big scene out of it, and you do this and you'll get a whole bunch more leads. Sure, you're gonna close them at your current price point, but then when that next week comes, then you raise your rates, and new people who come on board after that will pay the higher rate. Does that make sense? And here's a good rule of thumb for you. For every about 20 to 30 new clients that you get, be willing to bump up your monthly fees by anywhere from $10 to $20 a month. And people always ask me, well, how much should I keep going up? The answer is as much as you can, right? Life gets more expensive, rent gets more expensive, payroll continues to go up as you have more trainers and more staff, and so you need to generate more money. If you keep charging the same amount of money, after 3 years, you're actually going to make less money. You're going to take less money home. And the reason for that is, as the cost of living and operating a business goes up, you end up spending more money and take less home. Now, I don't want that to happen to you. So you're going to want to announce to all of your leads and clients that your prices are going up next week, and so that if they're interested, now is the time to send you those referrals or to come and try out your program so they can lock in the low rates, right? You're going to get a whole bunch more clients this very week if you do that. And then from there, you're going to raise your prices moving forward, and every 20 to 30 clients, you'll raise them again about $10 to $20, right? Maybe even more, $30 a month. Be willing to. What else can you do? You're going to leverage everything. What does that mean, leverage everything? Just because you have clients on board and they're paying you doesn't mean that you can't leverage them and make more money by selling them a nutrition program to follow. Or, as my friend Jeff Sherman created this program called the Game Changer Program, you can run a Game Changer program at 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks for your existing clients where they'll pay you more, right, for that period of time. And they get more personalized attention and services from you. And so, in fact, if you want to just get his Game Changer program, you just go to fitnessgamechanger.com or just Google Fitness Game Changer or Jeff Sherman Game Changer, and you're going to quickly find his Game Changer program. I think it's like $19 or something for the entire promo, right? Download it, use it with your existing clients, and you'll be able to get more money from your existing clients for a shorter period of time, right? And remember, you can sell them supplements. That's another revenue stream, right? Companies like BioTrust or whatever supplement company that you use and like, you can resell their supplements and get more money from existing clients. You can run nutrition workshops and seminars or develop nutrition programs to give your clients faster results and charge more for it. So understand the value of leverage. If there are other businesses in your community that you might be able to refer to, the chiropractor, physical therapist, massage therapist, talk to them first and say, can I get a referral fee if I refer my clients over to you? And you would be surprised how much more money you can make from your existing clients if you think about leverage. And of course, you have to change your belief system, right? You've got to change your belief system if you want to increase that income. And the reason is most people have the belief system that whatever the competition is charging, I have to charge somewhere around that, right? That's a really broken belief system. Or it's the holidays. Now is not the time to charge more. Or I can't get as many clients because it's the holidays. Or the part of town or part of the country that I live in is broke, or the economy isn't right, or the election just happened and people are afraid to spend money. See, those are all broken belief systems. And the way I look at belief systems are kind of like filters, right? And when you wear glasses with filters on, all of a sudden you're seeing different details that you never saw before, right? Like you ever wear those blue blockers, the sunglasses, and all of a sudden the sky is brighter and you can see the actual colors of the car and the people who, the clothes they're wearing, everything just pops, right, when you're wearing blue blockers. That's almost a filtered vision, right? Well, belief system is a filter. And if you have a belief system that's broken or out of tune, then you're going to blame outside circumstances instead of having the belief system of, I can do it, a can-do attitude, I can do it, I'm capable, people pay me for my outcome and the value that I deliver, and not so much the personal training or boot camp that they're buying from me, right? So while everyone else out there is trying to sell personal training or boot camp, you should be selling the results and the outcome. That's what people want. No one is trying to buy personal training or boot camp. No one is sitting on the couch right now eating Cheetos and they go, you know what? I think I need to go and work out and sweat and get sore and do things that are uncomfortable. Nobody wants to pay money for that. What they do say is, you know what? I think I had one too many Cheetos. I think I have crossed that line. I'm unhealthy, I'm unfit, my clothes don't fit right. I better find a personal trainer. They want the outcome, and they say I need to find a personal trainer because I want to lose weight, fit into my clothes, have greater health. So if you start selling the outcome and you make that your belief system, and you go, hey, the better the outcome that I create, the more I should be able to charge, right? Whenever I tell my clients, go down to 30-minute sessions instead of 60-minute workouts, they go, well, the clients, don't they feel like they're getting less? No. If you've got me as a client, guess what? If you got me as a client, my day goes fast. Every minute is accounted for. If you can train me and get me results in 30 minutes instead of 60 minutes, I'm willing to pay you more. And I bet you there's hundreds of people like that in your community who would value an extra 30 minutes and might even be willing to pay you more to give them an extra 30 minutes in their day because you have a better training program. That's just a change in the belief system. That's just a change in the filters that you're looking at your business through, right? Now, what about productivity? Because those are really the only three ways, by the way, right? You're going to focus on getting the clients, you're going to focus on making the money, right? Getting more money from each client, and you're going to focus on productivity. You want to get more done in the same, or ideally in less amount of time. So let's talk about more productivity. What is the thing about more productivity? Well, you've got to turn pro. Steven Pressfield has an amazing book called Turning Pro. And it really is about how he went from an amateur writer to a professional. In other words, as an amateur writer, he would put off his daily writing till the end of the day when he was exhausted and tired and fatigued, stressed out, and then he'd sit at his computer and there was no words that would come out. Interestingly, when he turned pro and decided to wake up earlier in the morning and dedicate his first 2 hours to writing, he started knocking out some of the best books on the planet. One of them is Turning Pro. And that's just one example of going from amateur to pro, right? So when we procrastinate, when we wait too long, when we put it off, what ends up happening is we stay in the state of amateurishness, if that's even a word, amateurishness, right? But we stay in that state. And then we wonder why we're not getting the results, why we're working slower, we're producing horrible products or outcomes, right? But if we turn pro, then we end up making our priorities a real priority. You put it high up on the list. You do it first thing in the morning. You don't check that iPhone. You don't log on to Facebook and any of that stuff, right? So my challenge to you is, one, if you want to become more productive, turn pro, right? Get more disciplined. Have more structure in your life. Number two, cut out the crabs out of your life, the negative people in your life. If you are surrounded by negativity, you got to cut that out, man. And negativity comes from two places. I talked about this with my team yesterday. Negativity comes from two places. It comes from the thoughts that occupy your mind and the people that you surround yourself with. This is something that Dan Sullivan says all the time. He's a brilliant guy, a strategic coach, right? The negativity, the failures, the people who are going to drag you down, you got to get rid of. Because if you don't, they act like a wet blanket in your life. What else? Got to focus on your 5%. So think about this. We're across the street from each other. If we're across the street from each other, you're running a personal training studio, I'm running a personal training studio. We pretty much offer the same thing. But all day long, I'm focusing on my 5%, which is to market, to sell, and to deliver results to my clients. You're focusing on marketing, right? So 8 hours a day, I'm just marketing, selling, and delivering results. You're focusing on making sure the place is vacuumed, making sure the windows are clean, making sure the toilet's clean, right? Making sure there's plenty of toilet paper, making sure your payroll is paid, making sure that you're paying your taxes, right? So all day long, you're working on all that stuff plus marketing, selling, and results, but I'm hyper-focused on the 5% that matter. At the end of 1 year, who's gonna do better in business? The guy who is focused on the 5% that matters, or the person across the street who was trying to do everything under the sun, right? Obviously, it's the person who's focusing on the 5% and outsourcing the other 95%. How do you outsource? You can barter with your clients or other people to outsource specific jobs and tasks that need to get done, but don't necessarily have to get done by you. I have a rule of thumb. When I had my gyms, my rule of thumb was if it can be done by someone who I can pay $20 an hour to or less, then it shouldn't be something that I do, right? If you can pay them $20 an hour or less to do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. It's as simple as that. I mean, if you're sitting there trying to figure out a squeeze page, a website, a ClickFunnels thing, that is nuts. Just because it's drag and drop, you're gonna spend 3 hours on that? I'd rather pay someone to set it up properly, make sure it works and functions well, and then outmarket you all day long versus trying to figure it out on my own, kill 3 hours instead of marketing for those 3 hours. So you gotta focus on your 5%, outsource everything else. You've got to become a control freak. Now, what do I mean about a control freak? I mean, you've got to control the thoughts that are in your head, the people that you surround yourself with. You've got to control the outcome of your business, right? You have to figure out how Facebook works. If you don't want to figure it out, then you've got to hire out, right? You got to hire out. A great company you can hire is fitnessmarketer.com. Just go to fitnessmarketer.com. They'll run your promotions for you, your ads for you. They'll set up your funnels, right? But you're either going to have to set up and figure it out yourself, or you're gonna have to hire out, right? But I'm a control freak. If I hire out, I wanna make sure I hired a company that's doing the job right. So I'm gonna be a control freak and still make sure that they are doing the job right. So it doesn't matter whether you're selling, training, retaining, creating nutrition programs, right? Or marketing, you have to be a control freak and know everything about that element, whether you outsource it or you're doing it yourself. The moment you're not a control freak and you just let people bite into your time, you wake up and you have no structure to your day, you have no control over your day, people start taking a piece from you here and there, and before you know it, the night comes, evening comes, and you feel tired and exhausted, but you look at the day and you really got nothing done. It was one of those unproductive days where you did busy work, but you really have nothing to show for it. Does that make sense? And I don't want that for you. The other thing, of course, is structure, because without structure, as Craig Ballantyne says, you have no freedom. Which kind of sounds crazy, right? And Craig has a great saying. His saying is this paradox of freedom can come and bite you in the ass, or something to that effect. And paradox of freedom means we tend to work so hard to make money that now through the money we have the freedom. But if we have no structure in our life, we find ourselves doing a lot of trivial stuff that aren't meaningful and don't create significance in our life, right? And so if you create structure, if you structure out your day, you know what time you're gonna wake up, what time you're gonna eat, what time your workout is, what 3 to 5 things you need to do to move your business forward, and in what order you're gonna do those in. The more structured you are, the more freedom you can put in. So you can say, I'm gonna do these 3 things and then take an hour off and read a book. Then I'm gonna do these 4 things and then go work out. Then I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna go hang out with my family, right? Structure equals freedom. Without structure, you're now running your business and your life by the seat of your pants, and what typically happens is you start to get overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you start to feel distracted, you become stressed, insecurity sets in, and anxiety creeps on, right? Tell me you haven't felt that as an entrepreneur. So if you are overwhelmed, odds are you are overwhelmed by opportunities, and you need to create structure in your life so that you can have more freedom through structure. All right, folks, I hope you got a lot of value out of this for your fitness business. These are the things that are gonna make you more money, get you more clients. And I promise you this works because hundreds of my coaching clients in the 7-Figure Formula Mastermind group and in my private mentorship program are making multiple 6 figures and 7 figures every year because they are using these 3 elements and focusing on it like their life depends on it.